Every year, threats move faster. We all know that. We're in security. Threat actors have new techniques, new levels of sophistication. Really, since the beginning of the concept of security, this trend hasn't slowed down. The threat landscape is an interconnected ecosystem. I talk a lot about the ecosystem of the threat landscape as opposed to just discrete threat actor groups. It's not just a technique, it's not just one group, it's this entire cottage industry of interconnected capabilities. Crime has become operationalized at scale. These threat actors are professional, they use professional tools, and today, Crane and I are going to look into that threat landscape to help level set for all of you with the conversations that you're going to have and everything that you're going to see from experts this week at Ignite. So let's get started by adding a little bit of context to what the threat landscape really looks like. At Microsoft, our intelligence represents a global footprint. Billions of users, millions of organizations, and an extensive network of partners. Of course, it's also driven by the more than 100 trillion signals that we analyze at Microsoft every day. Our threat intelligence teams work across these massive data sets and create insights into what threat actors are doing. Our unique visibility across endpoint, cloud, email, identity, IoT, and more gives us a really unparalleled view into the threats and what those look like. We operate the largest threat intelligence signal collection capability in the world. All of these teams work together to track threat actors, reverse engineer malware, and do takedowns on infrastructure to inform our threat intelligence and help program all of our AI models. So let's take a look back at the past year. We've continued to see threat actors accelerate their development, bring in new and novel techniques, and of course, for all of you who are defenders, this creates new challenges that you might not have ever seen before.
One of the things that I love being a researcher at Microsoft is really good to see how holistic the overall cybercrime ecosystem is from beginning to end. And what's really interesting is that in recent years, that ecosystem has become much more complex, much more sophisticated, but some things have really stayed the same. Social engineering still drives most of the attacks that we see today. What's really interesting is the same tactics that are used by threat actors today in phishing campaigns are the exact same techniques that have been used for literally thousands of years since human beings have been communicating with each other. The same tactics are being used that have been used to con people, to manipulate people. The only difference is now a computer is what's being used to do it. We'll also see as we go through this, as we'll see throughout the rest of this presentation, that AI is obviously driving a lot of these attacks to new levels. And then information has really become the crown jewel of what a lot of cyber threat actors are looking for today. A single user's credentials can be used in so many different ways, right? So they can be used to send additional follow-up phishing attacks that are coming from a legitimate, trusted account. They can be used to pivot to other cloud-based applications to access sensitive information. They can be used in password reuse attacks to access external accounts. And then they can also be used for intelligence collection from the compromised account to then send to target third parties and things like business email compromise attacks. And of course, nation-state actors, they love the information as well for things like espionage campaigns. And of course, the cybercrime ecosystem as a whole has become much more sophisticated with the emergence of AI, which cybercriminals have used to increase the overall efficiency and effectiveness of their attacks.
Let's talk about AI, which everyone does love. It really is helping us catch threat actors faster. But at the same time, it's teaching the threat actors new tricks. We're all defenders in this room, we're all security professionals, and we have to review the work of AI. This means that we need tighter data governance, we need to limit access, encrypt everything, and then test your own AI systems to make sure that they are providing accurate and authentic results. Attackers can scale operations that used to take weeks or months down to minutes and seconds. And that's why all of us as defenders have to move just as fast. We cannot outwork automation, but hopefully we can outthink it, we can out-engineer it. So that means AI-assisted threat detection, authenticated communications, and making sure that every employee understands how to spot these manipulations before they land. Resilience isn't built on chance, it's built by choice. And all of us have to make that choice to be defenders in the new AI world.